At last year's banquet, we asked for a building. That was our big project focus, and I'm so excited and just truly humbled and so grateful to tell you that we have achieved that, and this year we were able to purchase a building for the first time in our 35-year history.
Approximately a couple of years ago, as board members, we began to realize that one, we were going to have to move from the facility that we were in for 2 or 3 reasons. One, we had outgrown it, and the building was becoming aged, and we were going to have to consider either moving to another lease or rent building, or we were going to have to pay a much greater lease to have that building renovated. So we were at a crossroads. We were facing either going down one of those avenues and continuing to lease or rent a building, or was it time for life choices after 35 years of doing this? Is it time for us to have our own home? And so the board decided it's time for us to have our home. Well, we were looking for property, and this covered really probably a 1.5 years, 2 years of just looking at property. But we discovered the building that we were able to buy, and we just knew that it would work for us. But it was a very colorful ad agency building, and it just wasn't practical for what we want to do and the ministry for Life Choices. So it took a lot of work. Sean Robinson and his crew were great in working with Lindsay and the other people to convert this building into the place that it is, which is very warm, very inviting, and very comforting to the ladies that come by here, because this is a crisis in their life, and the environment that they come into is very important. I realize that, and I think everyone on the board does, and I think even our donors understand how important that is, that when someone is in that real crisis, that the place that they walk in says immediately that you're welcome here and that you are loved here.
We were approached by Lynn Linscomb, who was a board member at Life Choices, and looking for financing for the new building. And pretty much before he even got it out of his mouth, I was on board with it. I've been a supporter and a fan of Life Choices for years and years, and was only too happy to be a part of it. Matter of fact, I was pretty honored and privileged that they even asked us to be a part of it. Well, Life Choices is incredibly important. Obviously, it's an alternative to abortion. It's where young ladies that need assistance financially, morally, spiritually, and otherwise can go, not have to go out of town or out of state. But it's also incredibly important that it is faith-based. The fact that they're going to have support from a biblical and faith bases are very important, and it's just an incredibly important way to save lives. It's furthering God's kingdom, and it's doing these things here locally with local support. Well, you know, Marion State Bank mowed the loan. Obviously, it wasn't a donation. It was a way for others to be of assistance to Life Choices. So we're glad to be a part in getting the funding in place for them to get their new building. But you know, on a personal level, my wife and I give to Life Choices, and we think it's a very important part of what we do. We give to a number of organizations that are close to us. We of course give to our church, and the way we're led to give to our church, we're also led to give to Life Choices. It's a very important way that we can give a small portion of what we earn, and we try to be stewards of, to help further God's kingdom and to save lives.
We had a lot of projects to do, as far as we ripped out floors, we had to add a couple of doorways and paint completely top to bottom every room. It's complete transformation, and Sean and his crew just did a phenomenal job. I mean, it was an amazing transformation of our space that now we truly feel that women who walk in the door, and I mean, that's at least our prayer anyway, that everybody that walks through the door feels the warmth and security of this place. Having a new building this year has changed our ministry in ways we didn't even really anticipate. Within 2 months of moving this building, we tripled our mentoring program and our Hope program. We've doubled the amount of volunteers that we have, thankfully, because we have such a great space now that we can do so many more things with. And we're just completely grateful. Our hearts just overflow with gratitude for this amazing space to serve women better in our community with. We have different needs now, as you can imagine. We doubled our space, so our bills are a little bit higher, and we have things that we're working toward with our building. Our board obviously wants to retire the debt with our mortgage, and we also have a few exterior needs that we need with the building, as far as a fence for security purposes and just some other problems that we were having outside the building. And we're excited about what 2015 is going to hold as we get to serve women better in our community.